Batting second, number 11, the second baseman, Fred Menicino. Batting third, number 14, the left fielder, Ben Grieve. Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Sox coaches for today's game. At first base, number 51, Tommy Harper. And at third base, number 12, Wendell Kim. Leading off for the Red Sox, number 30, the second baseman, Jose Offerman. Batting second, number 7, the right fielder, Trot Nixon. Batting third, number 23, the first baseman, Brian Daubach. fifth, number 25, the left fielder, Troy O'Leary. Number 2, the designated hitter, Carl Everett. Batting seventh, number 33, the catcher, Jason Veritek.
If you've ever done a building project, you know how easy it is to lose time and money driving back and forth to the store. Well, the people at Hammond Lumber Company think you should leave the driving to them. Hammond will deliver any sizable order straight to your home or job site for free, usually within 24 hours and sometimes sooner. So next time you're building or remodeling, let Hammond Lumber do the driving. And don't you move a doggone inch.
Hundreds of Maine kids are waiting for a forever family. Every child deserves a place to call home. How many chances do we get to make a difference in a child's life? Care Development helps Maine families find those opportunities. Care Development, a unique child-centered organization, is expanding on its experience and is now offering comprehensive pre- and post-adoption services. Parents are guided through the process and receive ongoing comprehensive support and counseling to ensure strong, healthy families. How many chances do we get to make a difference in a child's life?
Batting fourth for Oakland, number 9, the first baseman, Olmedo Signs. Batting fifth, number 12, the designated hitter, Matt Stairs. Batting sixth, number 7, the right fielder, Jeremy Giambi. Batting seventh, number 55, the catcher, Ramon Hernandez. Boys and girls, welcome to friendly Fenway Park. During the course of today's game, fans may keep any baseballs hit into the stands. However, American League rules require that anyone going on the playing field or in any way interfering with play on the field be ejected and subject to arrest and prosecution. Fenway Park's code of conduct is established to maintain a friendly Fenway atmosphere. Please comply with the code and act in a courteous and orderly manner. For your convenience, ushers and security are posted throughout Fenway Park. Customer service booths are located on the main concourse behind home plate and in the bleachers. Should you need assistance of any kind, our trained staff is ready to help you. Thank you. Batting 8 for the Red Sox, number 29, the third baseman, Remy Alexander.
Chavez, the third baseman, too, hustling to get that ball while it's still in foul territory. Alexander would have scored, and certainly Lewis would have beaten it out right down that third base line. And watch Chavez come in, charge it hard, and as soon as he gets into foul territory, make sure he picks it up before he gets a chance to roll back fair.
Hernandez sets up inside. The 1-2 pitch is low and inside. 2-2. Oakland had the upper hand in the season series last year. They won 6 out of 10 from the Red Sox. First time the Sox lost a season series to Oakland since '92. Ball 3. A full count with Offerman on deck. The Red Sox lead 2-1. They scored twice in the first. The Red Sox have been outscored this year in the first inning 18-2 coming into today's game. Lewis pops that up. It'll be close. The wind trying to blow it back toward the field, but it's about 5 rows back into the first base boxes. The Red Sox will face another right-handed pitcher, Omar Olivares, tomorrow. At 1 o'clock, we'll have the ball game for you with Remy Martinez to start for the Red Sox. And then on Monday, the traditional Patriots Day morning game at 11 o'clock. It'll be Jeff Fassero against right-hander Gil Heredia. We'll have that game for you as well. 11 o'clock Monday morning. 3-2 pitch, pulled foul. Of course, Monday morning, after many months of studying the entire field, workout regimens, training programs, split times, Jerry Remy will offer his fearless predictions and provide you with all the marathon winners well in advance of the start of the race.
We've got to narrow down to a couple of canyons.
3-2 pitch. He walked him. Good at bat for Lewis. Fell behind quickly and worked Hudson for a walk. The second walk given up by Hudson. The Red Sox have first and third with nobody out.
Well, that was a good at bat. He really had to battle the right-hander, fouled a number of pitches off, and finally drawing the walk. Well, they're not seeing Hudson in the first 2 innings at his best. No. Certainly not like last August when we saw him at Fenway.
He's already given up 4 hits and has walked 2. First and third, nobody out. Jose Offerman singled to start the first inning. Singled to right and scored on the Daubach double after Nixon sacrificed Jose to second base. The throw to first gets away from Signs. In to score Alexander, and on to second Lewis. And the Red Sox lead 3-1.
I don't recall the last time I saw that, Sean, where he'd throw a ball away at first base and have that man from third just walk home and score. Not really trying to pick him off, just making a throw over there. It gets by. Olmedo signs. Alexander scores, and Lewis in a scoring position. You have to wonder what kind of effect that last outing he had against Cleveland has had on him, because he has certainly not been himself in the first 2 innings.
It's an error charge to Hudson. Now Offerman shows bunt. I think in this situation you have to swing away, don't you? You already have the man at second base. You have this guy, it seems, perhaps on the ropes.
Try to pull the ball at least.
Why give up an out to a pitcher who's struggling when you already have the man in scoring position? Offerman swings away this time and is behind in the count 0-2.
A lot of times the hitters will do that on their own just to maybe bring that third baseman in a step, which helps.
Offerman was 2 for 20 on the season opening road trip in Seattle and Anaheim. Much better here at home, but he's had a decent on base percentage the entire time because he's been walking with great regularity. 13 walks, leading the American League. Throw to second. Tough to tell, but it actually looked like Hudson slipped a little bit as he made that throw. Lewis now at second base. Nixon on deck. Lots of room in right center for Offerman, with Becker playing toward left. The ball high. Not an empty seat to be seen here at Fenway on Kids opening day. Offerman pops it up. Shallow left. Ben Grieve in to make the catch for the first out. Part of the Kids opening day festivities before the game, the Boston Arts Academy Chorus performed the national anthem with Cub Scout Pack 22 from Braintree serving as the color guard, and they all did a terrific job. And on the field before the game, the Nabisco Oreo, the Dunkin' Donut, Bart Simpson, of course, Wally the Green Monster. They're mingling with the crowd throughout the game. There are all kinds of clowns and face painters and other performers around the ballpark outside for the kids on their way in. Want to know the count on Nixon, who dropped down a sacrifice bunt last inning.
One of the great features, they introduced the starting lineups, and each player for the Red Sox in the starting lineup takes out a kid with him to the baseline. And what a thrill that must be.
The Red Sox buddy, who were randomly selected as they came through the gates of the ballpark to join the team on the first base line. And the first 12,000 fans 15 and under today received a Wally 2000 wristwatch. So a big day for the kids, and we'll have more opening weekend festivities for the youngsters here tomorrow.
That watch more valuable than a Rolex.
Really thanks to you. A 2-0 pitch just inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Brian Daubach on deck. Been a lot of rumors around the park today that Wally could be selected in the first round of the NFL draft, which is going on today.
Runs a 4.340, so that was prior to his back surgery this offseason.
It hasn't diminished the interest of the scouts. I think he's a little undersized. Ball 4. 2 walks in the inning, so the control problem in evidence again for Hudson. He walked 6 Indians in his last outing. He's walked 3 Red Sox already.
The first baseman, Brian Daubach.
There's Brian Daubach, who doubled to drive in the first run of the game last inning. He scored the second run on a sacrifice fly by Carl Everett. Three to 1 Boston in the second. First and second, 1 out. Daubach rips one fair ball into the right field corner. Played by Jeremy Giambi. Lewis has scored. Nixon scores. It's a 2-run double for Daubach. His second double in as many innings. He's driven in 3 today. And the Red Sox are putting it on. Tim Hudson leading now 5-1.
Well, does he have a heart? I mean, you pitch him away, he goes to the opposite field. This time they pitch him inside. Hits a line drive down the right field line. Already 3 RBI in the afternoon. And the Red Sox, after the A's get 1 run on that home run, bounce right back with 3, and they may not be finished yet.
Ron Mayhay warming up in the Oakland bullpen. Well, the Red Sox outfielder who made the transition to pitching. And Rick Peterson's to the mound for the second time in as many innings. Trying to buy some time for Mayhay. The Red Sox bats have certainly come to life on this homestand. Even last night they were in double digits in hits, despite the fact that they were getting routed by Oakland.
Had a chance to come back in that game. They got within a few runs, 3 runs, I believe, and then all of a sudden, bing, another home run, and that was pretty much it then.
And they were down 7-0, got within 7-4. Hudson, who was pitched just an inning and a third, is about to throw pitch number 50 of the afternoon to Nomar. Nomar had an infield single on a little roller down the third baseline and was stranded last inning. Dahlbach at second, 1 out. Hudson missed, low and away. 5 runs, 5 hits for the Red Sox. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error for Oakland. Red Sox with a win today, trying to get back above the 500 mark. They're 5-5 right now. The high water mark for the year, 1 game over 500. At 1-0 and 5-4. There haven't been 2 games over the 500 mark yet this season. 2-0 the count now on Garcia Parra. Pedro doesn't mind the wait.
As long as they're putting some runs on the board for you.
Three and 0. Hudson definitely not pitching the way we saw him pitch last year. And he took the American League by storm. It's one of the big reasons why the Oakland Athletics made their move and stayed in the playoff race. 3-1. Ball 4. The third time this year Nomar has walked. He's been up there swinging away. That's 4 walks surrendered by Hudson, 3 in this inning. The first 2 hurt as both of the walkers, Lewis and Nixon, came around to score.
6 walks in his last outing against Cleveland, already 4 in this game against the Red Sox.
Troy O'Leary at first and second and 1 out. Pulls it to second slowly. Menechino to Tejada on the first, not in time. O'Leary avoids grounding into the double play. He's had difficulty in these situations this year. That would have been the 4th double play he would have grounded into. He's hit into a team high 3. And that's a lot in 10 games. Dahlbach at third. O'Leary at first for Carl Everett. He had a sacrifice fly to deep center, sent Becker back near the wall last inning. Slices that one out of play to the left. Red Sox lead 5-1. Hudson facing the 8th batter of the second inning. Boston sent 7 men to the plate in the first inning. No balls, 2 strikes.
Made very few of those type pitches today that either split or a change up that is never really in the strike zone. That's out just below the knee and then finishes in the dirt.
Let's pause for station identification along the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy at Fenway Park on Kids opening day. The Red Sox lead 5-1 in the second. Everett takes a ball down and in. Today's telecast produced by Russ Ken, directed by John Wilson, our associate producer Dave Corus. Chris Gerline and Bob Qua assisting us here in the booth. The 1-2 pitch, low and away. In the air down the left field line. And just into the seats. Grieve gave chase. Sometimes you'll see balls down there drift back toward fair territory, but that one stayed foul, and it's still 2-2. I know you're looking forward to tomorrow, part of the anticipation for the Boston Marathon. The legendary marathoner Johnny Kelly is going to throw out the first pitch, as he's done here in the past.
That should be fun.
In the dirt. And we welcome our friends from around the country and around the world who are visiting our great city this weekend, or run in the marathon, or take part in cheering friends or loved ones on, perhaps covering the race.
Supposed to be the second largest field in the history of the Boston Marathon.
Some 17,000 or so,
Yeah.
I believe, including Tommy McLaughlin, the visiting clubhouse attendant here at Fenway Park. 3-2 pitch, pulled foul. Tommy's been training regularly with the L Street Running Club. And I know you have been thinking about Tom as a dark horse candidate to perhaps pull off one of the great upsets of all time in the history of sports.
I've got him finishing this year certainly under the 4-hour mark.
Daubach at third. O'Leary at first. The 3-2 for Hudson. Well hit left field, up into the breeze. Grieve back at the wall. That ball's off the wall. Daubach has scored. O'Leary's going to score. Becker slips down. That doesn't affect the play. It's a double for Everett. And a 7-1 Red Sox lead. And Art Howe's going out with a hook. And it does seem, Jerry, that the Red Sox might have taken a page out of the Cleveland Indian playbook. They were very patient with Hudson, laid off most of those pitches that were low and out of the dirt, and when he brought the ball up and threw it in the strike zone, it got hammered.
Clearly did not have the command and control that we've seen in the past, and Red Sox didn't help him out at all today.
So Hudson leaves after just an inning and 2/3. And Everett already has 3 runs batted in. Daubach has 3, and the Red Sox lead 7-1. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
You don't need to drive a great distance for your family's health care. Coldstream Healthcare is just around the corner. Coldstream Healthcare serves the Howland and Lincoln area Monday through Friday 7 to 6 and Saturdays 8 to noon. Scheduling your annual and physical exams, vaccinations, or follow-up care is convenient and easy. Walk in for emergency care or any common illness. Plus, Coldstream Healthcare offers on-site laboratory services. Convenient quality healthcare is where you want it, when you want it. Coldstream Healthcare in West Enfield.
If you're trimming trees, painting your house, or cleaning gutters, don't take chances, especially with electricity. Never carry a ladder upright near power lines. Electricity is always trying to seek a path to ground. Don't give it the chance. Keep a respectful distance between power lines and you.
Don't forget safety. Get the facts in CMP Smart Power Safety Guide. And remember, no line safe to touch. Ever.
Tools and equipment. Contractors and industry owe their livelihood to them. That's why when the pros rent, they count on J-Rent. From tillers to tampers, lifts and loaders, stump grinders and steam cleaners, to chippers and sweepers, J-Rent has the right tool for the job. With 35 years in the construction business, the folks at J-Rent know you expect clean, reliable, ready-to-run equipment, and J-Rent delivers. Whether you're the contractor who needs to bring the job in on time, or the do-it-yourselfer demanding professional results, you can count on J-Rent.
Sox are on Fox 25 all weekend. And this afternoon on Fox 25, Tim Hudson was treated rudely by the home team. As Hudson gave up 7 runs, all earned on 6 hits and 4 walks. He's responsible for Carl Everett, the runner at second base, inherited by the new pitcher, former Red Sox left-hander, former outfielder and Red Sox pitcher Ron Mayhay.
fifth starter on this Athletics club. He's made one start this season, and you see the numbers: 4 innings, 9 hits, and 6 earned runs. Fifth starter when needed for Rod Howe.
Jason Varitek swings around to bat from the right side. Ball 1 low and away from Mayhew. Varitek was called out on strikes to end the first inning when the Red Sox stranded 2. That was the only strikeout for Hudson. 7 runs, 6 hits for Boston. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error by Oakland. Hudson made the error. Did not affect the scoring as it turned out. Mayhew's 1-0. He turned it over and missed away. Mayhew started his career in the Red Sox organization, an 18th round selection in the June '91 draft. Was an outfielder then. First really came to the attention of Red Sox fans when he was a replacement player. That caused him some difficulty later on in his career. Spent some time in the big leagues as a hitter in '95, hit 1 major league home run. And then in '96 made the transition to pitcher in the Red Sox organization and pitched for the Red Sox in '97 and '98 in relief, then went to Oakland after he was waived by the Red Sox prior to last year. His 3-1 pitch is up and in. Ball 4. The Red Sox have batted around. 5 walks already. We talked about it the other day, Jerry, at the home opener. The lack of control
Number 29,
all around Major League Baseball, particularly in the games in which the Red Sox have been involved, has been alarming. Here's the hit that started this inning. Manny Alexander led off with the triple and scored the first of the 5 runs in this inning.
That's been amazing, Sean, the number of walks. It's almost like the bell rings, the season starts, and everybody tries to make the perfect pitch. Combination of that, some cold weather to work in.
Mayhew misses again. No excuse with the weather today.
No.
Guess they want to claim the wind was a problem for them. Outside, 2-0. As a result, we've had some lengthy games here in the early season. This game is already more than an hour old. And the Red Sox are still batting in the second inning. It's a 4-hour pace. Likely to speed up when Pedro gets back out there. Did you wonder if he's ever going to get back out there? 3-0 the count.
That's the other thing. You don't mind sitting on the bench because your team's getting runs, but yet on the other hand, you don't like to be there too long either. You want to keep some kind of rhythm going, especially a guy like Pedro.
This has been a very lengthy stay in the dugout. 3-0 pitch. Belled high strike. Manny Alexander, veteran, for the most part utility player throughout his career, acquired in the offseason from the Chicago Cubs for outfielder Damon Buford. Swing and a miss. Buford playing regularly in center field for Chicago. Made a great catch in their game yesterday. A loss to Florida. Pedro's been in the dugout for a half an hour. The Red Sox have been at bat for 30 minutes now.
Every night it seems like it's like this.
Now, when you think that some of these marathoners, the elite runners, can run the marathon and run halfway back to Hopkinton by the time a 3-hour game is over, gives you an idea just how long these games are on average. Alexander hits it in the air. Shallow left center. It'll be Becker calling off Grieve, and finally the inning comes to an end. The Red Sox sent 10 men to the plate, and they scored 5 runs on 3 hits. They were helped by control trouble by the 2 Oakland pitchers. 7-1 Red Sox after 2.
Central Maine Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep brings you more for less. Over 200 new and used vehicles are in stock now with low Central Maine prices. See the new Dodge Dakota Quad Cab with 4 full doors, available in 4x4 and 4x2 models. Get low 0.9 financing and save with the Chrysler 300M, the sporty luxury sedan for today's driving enthusiasts. Chrysler Plymouth and Dodge minivans are also available with less than 1% financing.
So come on into Central Maine Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep and find out why cars and trucks simply cost less in Waterville.
With its built-in phone directory, alarm clock, calendar, and optional vibrating alert, you'll discover the easy-to-use Nokia 6100 series wireless phone. It's very helpful at planning your day. Nokia. Connecting people.
Get 1,000 minutes for only $39.95. The digital grand plan from Unicel.
Care Development is a local agency dedicated to Maine children and Maine families.
Mark and Stephen are a pair of 5th grade brothers who would love to be placed together. Mark would like to be a truck driver while Stephen would like to pilot a plane. A permanent, loving home is what these boys need most, and being placed together is their ultimate goal.
There are hundreds of children right here in Maine who need your help. For more information on adoption or foster care, call Care Development today.
Red Sox 7, Oakland 1 as we go to the third here on Kids Opening Day at Fenway Park. And there's no better place than Fenway Park to host your group outing. Come watch the Red Sox Tuesday, May 2nd against Detroit, Monday, May 8th, or Tuesday, May 9th when the Red Sox take on the Chicago White Sox. Bring your group along. Take advantage of incredible discounts. For more information, call the Red Sox Group Sales Office at 617-262-1915. Pedro in the dugout for more than a half an hour as the Red Sox scored 5 times in the bottom of the second. Gave up a home run to Olmedo Signs on the first pitch last inning. That's the only hit Pedro has allowed. Eric Chavez begins the third and takes a ball up and away. Chavez, Tejada, and Becker coming up, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Foul ball. 1-1. Chavez had the big night last night, the grand slam in the first inning. He added an RBI later. Drove in 5 runs, a career best. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 8, and he sends that out of play to the left. Brian Rose victimized by the grand slam from Chavez last night. That's tomahawk to left, right at O'Leary. Chavez did a pretty good job to hit that pitch with some authority. It looked like it was eye high.
And still going up. They wanted to go in that area with the 2 strikes. You can see Veritek set the target up high. It was up high, but somehow Chavez made contact, hit it hard, but right at Troy O'Leary. That's getting on top of a high fastball there. What do they call that, Sean? Streaked?
I don't know. You're asking me about hair, you know. I'm doing the best I can, but I don't know.
I think it's streaked. Highlights.
Seems to be highlights. Seems to be pretty common these days. Miguel Tejada, the batter. Look out. That hit him. Where did it hit him? Hopefully around the shoulder. It was close to hitting him in the head. Perhaps it even did. Yeah, he's grabbing at a shoulder, so even if it did bounce up off the helmet, maybe the shoulder took the brunt of it. No, it just hit him in the shoulder and bounced away.
And a good thing he did get that shoulder up there, because had he not, that would have been right on the side of the face.
Number 22, the center fielder, Rich Becker.
Pedro giving a little nod to Tejada over there, making sure he's okay.
One out base runner. Here's the top of the order. Rich Becker. Swing and a miss over the changeup for Strike one.
Also, might mention Tejada did have a home run against Pedro last season.
You're saying Pedro's been waiting all these months for a chance to plunk Miguel Tejada?
I don't know if I'm saying that, but he did want to go inside on him. I think there's no point about, no question about that.
First batter Pedro has hit this year. As Pedro, when he first came up, had a reputation for being a headhunter, was involved in a couple of episodes. But he says back then he just didn't have the same kind of control that he has now. And in recent years, that headhunter stuff has gone away. Two and two, the count on Becker.
Even those who have that reputation, and sometimes fair, sometimes not fair, not bad to keep it alive every once in a while by zipping one inside, just to remind folks that, I'm not afraid to come in there.
Tejada at first, one out. 7-1 Red Sox in the third. The 2-2 to Rich Becker. Hit slowly on the right side. Offerman couldn't get it. Under his glove into right. On to third, Tejada. Little seeing eye single for Rich Becker. And the A's are trying to chip away here in the third.
It seems like with Jose Offerman, he has better range going to his right than he does going to his left. You'll see him cross over here. He'll go into the dive. The ball not hit that hard, but right underneath the glove of Offerman. And Athletics play first and third.
It looked like at the very least one he could have knocked down and kept that runner at second base instead of Tejada advancing to third.
And again, Pedro, I mentioned that half-hour delay sitting in the dugout. He's not quite as sharp this inning as the previous two.
Frank Menechino walked and was thrown out trying to steal second in the first inning. Breaking ball missed. 1-0. Menechino, a study in perseverance. 29 years old, broke into the major leagues last year. After 7 years in the minors. He's from Staten Island, New York. Just 5'9", 175 pounds. Went on to the University of Alabama. Blistering fastball in the corner. 1-2. Menechino, originally drafted by the Chicago White Sox. The 45th round back in June '93 out of Alabama. Was with their organization until the A's drafted him away in the Rule 5 minor league draft in December of '97. Now his third season in the Oakland organization.
Mentioning last night, facially a little bit looks a little like Lou Merlone.
1-2 pitch. He struck him out. 4 strikeouts for Pedro.
Number 14.
And they get those men in scoring position, and all the great pitchers turn it up just a notch, and Pedro throws the fastball by him. Started him off with soft stuff and then finished him off with a couple of fastballs.
Two outs. Big for Oakland. Menechino couldn't get the ball in play with the infield back, trying for two. He could put the ball on the ground. Very least likely would have gotten that runner in from third. Ben Grieve was called out on strikes in the first. 7-1 Red Sox. Grieve lines one foul. He's in the hole 0-2. Then got off to an awful start last year. Finished the year hitting .265. He was hitting .131 in mid-May. Trying to do some damage here with Tejada and Becker at third and first. The crowd wants the strikeout. The 0-2. Fouled out of play to the left. When you're that deep into the season, Jerry, May 19th, Grieve was hitting .131. He did a lot of work over the latter stages of the season to get that average to .265. Still hit 28 homers last year, major league high.
There's a lot of talk early in the year about maybe sending him back to the minor leagues to get his act together.
The 0-2. Pulled foul the other way. Grieve now in his third year in the majors. This will be his third full season. He came up at the end of '97. He's the American League Rookie of the Year in '98 when he hit .288 and drove in 89 runs. The 0-2 pitch, line to center, a hit. They end a run as Tejada scores from third. And it's 7-2.
Well, good battle put on by Grieve. He fouled off a number of pitches, fastball. That looked like it might have been a changeup from Pedro that stayed up in the zone.
The first baseman.
And Grieve, who's always had pretty good success against Pedro. .333 coming into the game today. He's 1 for 2. And it's a 7-2 ball game now.
Olmedo signs the batter. He takes the first pitch strike. He took Pedro deep on the first pitch of his at-bat last inning. Leading off the second, Signs got Oakland its first run with his first homer of the year. The first home run given up by Pedro this season, and it snapped a string of 47 2/3 innings in the regular season for Pedro between home runs. Here's a look at the Signs homer last inning. Wind dated just over the center field wall. The last man to homer off Pedro prior to the Signs home was Chili Davis. Remember that game last September when Pedro gave up the home run to Davis, and that was the only hit he gave up and the only run? That was September 10th at Yankee Stadium in the second inning. Offerman threw out Signs, and Oakland settles for one run in the third. The Red Sox lead 7-2. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
Nowadays, it isn't always easy to get answers to your questions when you need parts or service for power tools. At Viking Lumber, you can talk to the person who will be doing the work face to face and get answers right on the spot.
Let Viking treat you right with Anderson Windows. Anderson Windows increase the value of your home and cut energy costs. You can't do better than Anderson.
We'll treat you right on the spot. Viking Lumber in Belfast, Lincolnville, Vinyl Haven, and Warren. Call us old-fashioned. We'll say thanks.
McDonald Footwear in Skowhegan makes custom footwear in 9 widths from sizes 5 to 18. And if you have problem feet, McDonald Footwear now has an orthotic computerized custom insole machine for ultimate comfort, performance, and fit. Custom hand-sewn shoes and custom insoles for your feet.
I have boat shoes, I have dress shoes, I have the loafers. Everything that McDonald shoe makes, I have, and I love them.
McDonald Footwear in Skowhegan. Shoes made the old-fashioned way, one stitch at a time.
You don't need to drive a great distance for your family's health care. Coldstream Healthcare is just around the corner. Coldstream Healthcare serves the Howland and Lincoln area Monday through Friday 7 to 6 and Saturdays 8 to noon. Scheduling your annual and physical exams, vaccinations, or follow-up care is convenient and easy. Walk in for emergency care or any common illness. Plus, Coldstream Healthcare offers on-site laboratory services. Convenient quality healthcare is where you want it, when you want it. Coldstream Healthcare in West Enfield.
Tonight at 9 on Fox 25, they're the most vicious criminals in the country, and a simple phone call can help put them away. John Walsh hosts an all-new America's Most Wanted Tonight at 9 on Fox 25. Ron Mayhay to Darren Lewis as we roll to the bottom of the third inning. Slap to second, caught in the air by Menachino for the out. Lewis is 0 for 1. He walked and scored last inning.
Number 30.
One pitch, one out, and for the third time in as many innings, here's Jose Offerman, the leadoff man. He singled to right and scored in the first. He flied to left in the second. The Red Sox got 2 runs in the first and 5 in the second to knock the starter Tim Hudson out of the ballgame. Hudson's final line, an inning and 2/3 pitched. He allowed 7 runs, all earned on 6 hits. He walked 4, struck out 1. He threw 63 pitches, 36 of them strikes. Ron Mayhay walked the first man he faced, Varitek, upon coming in last inning, and then got Alexander to fly out to end the inning. He's even with Offerman, 1-1. Trot Nixon to follow. Mayhay, 28 years old, an Illinois native. Now makes his home in New Jersey. He's done some acting. He's appeared as an extra a couple of times on the soap opera All My Children. Now, that's not one of the ones that you watch regularly.
No, I just have one favorite, but I might check it out sometime next time I know that he's going to be on there.
Yours is Days of Our Lives?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. What about due for a Days of Our Lives update here before the season gets much deeper? We'll have to have you start watching some Fox programming, though, so you can give us some updates on the home networks shows.
I watch Ally McBeal. I watch that show.
Mm-hmm. Fine show.
Saturday night, if I'm home, I watch that America Most Wanted. Make sure I'm not one of the most wanted.
Well hit ball by Offerman. A long run for Becker, just shy of the warning track. He made the catch. 2 outs in the third. Well, that's a good show. And they show you some criminals, and then if you happen to spot those people walking around, you call in, and you've made a major contribution.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success too on that. These are people that have been on the run for a while.
Nixon.
Trot Nixon, the batter. Hill has not had an official time at bat. He laid down a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. He walked and scored last inning. Mayhay just missed. All My Children, I believe, that isn't that the show with Susan Lucci? He plays Erica.
Sounds right.
So Ron knows Susan Lucci in all likelihood. Assuming the extras get to mingle with the stars, which I would think they would. Soap operas, there are not that many people.
No, there are stars and there are big stars, and I don't imagine a guy like Mayhay would get to mingle with the big stars. They have the big trailers.
She's supposed to be very nice, though. The reputation, she's a very nice person. I hit a golf ball off her house last year in New York.
I remember that story, yeah.
They told me she wouldn't be that upset because she's very nice. She lives on Long Island. Their son is a very good golfer. Yeah, it's too close to the course for some of us who can spray it a long way. Off track, 3-1 the count. But her son, I believe, is the Big East golf champion, or was, at Georgetown. Out of play to the left. The full count.
Is Mayhay a villain, or is he...
I don't know. I just know that he's been an extra. Chances are, as an extra, you're probably just somebody who stands in the background. You're at a restaurant scene. You're at the table nearby. One of those kind of
Make believe you're talking to somebody.
Exactly. Nixon hits in the air and right. Jeremy Giambi the catch, and the Red Sox go in order for the first time. After 3, 7-2 Boston.
The toughest trucks in New England come with the toughest claims to back them up. Hey, we like to get extreme, you know, down and dirty.
Ford Ranger XLT, the #1 selling compact pickup in America, just $199 a month.
When we're looking for a good time, we pack up the crew, throw the bikes in the back, and we come up here and catch a little air.
A 4-door Super Cab XLT with V6 power and more, just $199 a month.
Forget about kicking up your heels, because you'll be kicking up some mud.
The best lineup of trucks on the planet. Built Ford tough, only at your New England Ford dealer.
How many bargains can you find in 15 seconds? Go!
Right now at Marshall's, the bargains are unbelievable. But hurry in. At 20 to 60% below department store prices, these summer fashions won't last. Marshall's, brand names for less.
Every day.
The thrill of a new 240 horsepower engine. The serenity of a perfectly considered interior. Machine in balance. The new Infiniti QX4. Imagine the ultimate luxury vehicle. We have.
Life has its bumps, but you don't have to feel them. Now Midas Gold struts with R2 technology are only $59.95 each, with a lifetime guarantee. Go smoothly. Go Midas.
We're back at Fenway Park, heading to the 4th inning, and the Red Sox lead Oakland 7-2.
Number 12.
Time to check the scoreboard. Brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers. The Yankees lead the Royals 5-0. New York looking for its 4th straight win. They have Ramiro Mendoza on the mound today. Shane Spencer hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 1st off Jose Rosado. Pedro Martinez to Matt Stairs. 1-0 on Stairs. The Rangers lead the Indians 5-0. 2-run single for Pudge Rodriguez. Tolo Colon has struggled. The Devil Rays 2 and the Tigers nothing. They're in the 5th. Fred McGriff and Dave Martinez each with solo homers. Dwight Gooden acquired from Houston earlier this week on the mound for the Devil Rays. The Angels got 3 in the 1st, including a 2-run double from Troy Gloss at Chicago. The White Sox now batting against Kent Bottenfield. The Mariners and the Blue Jays later on. John Halama against Roy Halladay. And tonight the Orioles are at the Twins. Cal Ripken needs 3 hits for 3,000. Stairs a check swing foul ball. 1-2 the count. Over in the National League, Mets and the Pirates went to extra innings last night. Tonight they're scoreless in the 4th. Glendon Rush and Jimmy Anderson the starters. Brewers got 2 in the 1st against Kevin Millwood, and they lead the Braves 2-0 in the 2nd. The Marlins won, the Cubs nothing. Ryan Dempster against Scott Downs. They're in the bottom of the 1st at Wrigley. A little bit later on, the Cardinals at the Rockies. Pat Henkin against Rolando Araujo. The Diamondbacks at the Giants. Todd Stottlemyre and Russ Ortiz the starters. Montreal at Philadelphia. Hideki Arabu and Andy Ashby. Reds and the Dodgers later on. There's a seeing eye single through the middle for Matt Stairs. Stairs is 1 for 2. 4 hits now for Oakland against Pedro Martinez. Reds and the Dodgers, Denny Nagel and Eric Gagne will be the pitchers. That's tonight. And the Astros are at San Diego with Jose Lima to pitch against Woody Williams. And that's the Dodge scoreboard. Jeremy Giambi, the hitter. 1 strike on Jeremy. He grounded out his first time up.
Pedro gave up 2 hits to Seattle in his opening game. 5 hits last time against Anaheim. Already 4 here by the Athletics in the top of the 4th.
Well, maybe they ought to think about trading him. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Brother Jason Giambi not in the lineup today for Oakland, but the Giambis are the 6th set of brothers to play for the Oakland A's. The 2nd to do so at the same time. Jose Canseco had his brother Ozzie as a teammate for a while in Oakland. Fastball up and in. We had Jeremy spinning out of the way, and he dropped the bat.
Well, let's see what Pedro does here. Back inside with the fastball, or maybe the changeup down and away. You never know what he's going to do.
Now the play to the left. Brother Jason Giambi's not in the lineup tonight. He's listed as day-to-day after hyperextending his right knee on an infield grounder last night. On midway between home and first, he started to pull up, and you found out today it's really more behind the knee than it is the knee itself.
I think more of a hamstring problem, and could be out for the remainder of this series.
That would be a break for the Red Sox. Jason Giambi leads the American League in runs batted in. At 17, he's hit 5 homers, put him 3rd in the American League. You know who's 2nd in the American League in runs batted in? I know you do because you have the notes, but you could win a bet on this, I think, with a lot of people. Mike Bordick, the Baltimore shortstop, 16 runs batted in and 4 homers. He hit a home run last night. Strike 3. When you talk about with Pedro, you never know what's coming, and clearly Jeremy Giambi wasn't expecting the hook.
Been fastballs and changeups the whole at bat, and after about 3 straight fastballs, drops the hook on him. Hadn't seen it yet in this at bat, and we'll take a good look at it there for strike 3. A lot of guys, Sean, in that top 10 in RBIs you wouldn't expect to be there. Vizquel's there with 15, Ray Durham with 15,
Matt Lawton. Charles Johnson from Baltimore, much better known for his defense behind the plate than his hitting. Martinez is fan 5. He's working now to Ramon Hernandez, who was strikeout victim number 3 when he was caught looking to end the 2nd. We're in the 4th, and the Red Sox lead 7-2, and to get back on the winning track after dropping game 1 of this series last night. Strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. He struck him out.
All curveballs that time, so he got the Giambi on the curveball, stayed with the curveball of Hernandez, and picked up back-to-back strikeouts. It's like Pedro's trying to get himself back in a groove. Working a little quicker.
Yeah, by his usual demeanor, he almost seems a little bored today, as if the slow pace of play at the beginning of the game and the big lead has lost a little bit of his intensity. He's trying to get back. Strike at the knees to Eric Chavez, who lined to left his first time up. A little bit low. I think Chavez is one of the rising stars in Major League Baseball. Struggled early last year as a rookie, and suffered a foot injury at midseason. Came back and finished with a flourish. He's just 22 years old. Former first-round pick, the 10th player taken in the entire draft in June of 1996. Wound up hitting .247 last year. Lazy fly ball to right. Nixon puts it away to end the inning. The A's strand a runner. They've left 3. Middle of the 4th, 7-2 Red Sox on the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
Your news.
We are following some breaking news right now.
Your weather.
This is
definitely a rain event for us.
Your sport.
Now you can lease a new Ford Focus for just $199 a month with 1624 due at signing.
If you want some help when it's time to float your boat, the people at Hammond Lumber Company have exactly what you need. High-quality aluminum docks and accessories from ShoreMaster. ShoreMaster docks are easy to install and maintain, and they're guaranteed for 15 years. Hammond offers factory direct savings on all ShoreMaster products and free delivery to wherever you are in Maine. So when it's time to float your boat, talk with the people at Hammond Lumber.
Are you the kind of person who wants to make a difference in the life of a child? Care Development, Eastern Maine's most comprehensive foster care service, is looking for those special people who have what it takes to be family stewards. If you've wondered about foster care, but wanted a greater opportunity to impact children and your community, and want to invest in Maine's future, then Care Development's Family Stewardship Program may be right for you. To learn more about family stewardship, call Care Development today. Enrich your life by enriching the life of a child.
Red Sox will offer a free shuttle bus service from Ruggles Station to Fenway Park for all Red Sox home games. Red Sox want to improve public transportation access for fans arriving via the Orange Line, commuter rail lines from Attleboro, Franklin, and Needham, and several MBTA bus lines. For more information, visit redsox.com.
Brian Daubach begins the fourth against Ron Mayhay. Daubach has doubled twice and driven in 3 runs. He has scored 2. His hot start to the season continues. His average with the 2 for 2 today up to .414. Now to play 1-1. Meet of the order, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Daubach, Garcia, Parra, and O'Leary coming up. Today is the day of the NFL draft, the start of the draft.
Patriots do not have a pick until the second round, the 46th pick.
A little bit up and in.
A few of these up and in pitches in this game today. Daubach very close to home plate and wearing him out to all fields.
This is the same pitch again from the overhead camera. As we come back live, it's ball 3. And ball 4, just a little bit low and away. So Oakland pitchers have walked 6 already. Second given up by Mayhay. This pitch an inning and a third of relief for Art Howe. Last night was Art Howe's 700th win as a major league manager for Houston and Oakland. Nomar Garcia Parra. An infield hit in the first. He walked in the second. Ball 1. Mentioned the NFL first round underway. Not really any surprises. There's been 13 picks made so far. Everything apparently has gone just about according to form. Now to play. Cleveland took defensive end Courtney Brown of Penn State. Washington had the next 2 picks. Took LeVar Arrington, the linebacker from Penn State, and Chris Samuels, the offensive tackle from Alabama. And Cincinnati took Peter Warrick, the wide receiver from Florida State. Baltimore had the 5th pick, drafted Jamal Lewis, the running back from Tennessee. Here's a strike, 1-2. Philadelphia picking 6, took Corey Simon, a defensive tackle from Florida State. Arizona had the 7th pick, Thomas Jones, a running back of Virginia. Pittsburgh selecting 8, took Plaxico Burress, wide receiver, Michigan State. Chicago, the number 9 pick, Brian Urlacher, linebacker from New Mexico. 1-2 pitch. Line to left. Grieve has it. And on the edge of the warning track, 1 out. Daubach back to first.
4-pitch at bat that time for Garciaparra, knowing he's a first ball fastball hitter. The changeup on the first pitch, then all fastballs after that. Well, pitches, that's about average for Nomar being the plate. Sometimes less than that.
Didn't quite get enough of that one to get it up on the wall. 1 out here in the fourth, 7-2 Red Sox. Daubach at first for Troy O'Leary, who took the ball high. O'Leary looked at ball 4 in the first inning, reached under fielder's choice and scored in the second. Now to play to the left. The rest of the picks that have made so far in the first round of the NFL draft. Baltimore had the 10th pick, their second pick in the top 10. They took wide receiver Travis Taylor from Florida. The New York Giants, selecting 11th, chose the Heisman Trophy winner, running back Ron Dane from Wisconsin. To left field again for Grieve. 2 outs. Then the New York Jets had the next 2 picks, the 12th and 13th. They selected defensive end Sean Ellis of Tennessee and linebacker John Abraham of South Carolina. So as they say at last report, the Green Bay Packers are on the clock. The 14th pick.
No trading, huh, to move up?
No trading, no. Some trades yesterday, I believe, but no word of any trades today. And of course, they'll have full coverage of the draft on Fox 25 Sports during the news at 10 tonight. Carl Everett is the batter. He's driven in 3 runs today. A sacrifice fly in the first and a 2-run double in the second. 1 ball, 1 strike as Mayhay missed outside.
It's a pitch that Mayhay was trying to develop when he was with the Red Sox, that changeup. Pretty much everything was hard from Mayhay. Fastball, slider.
And that's really how he became a pitcher, because they noticed in watching him throw, he had a good arm. He could throw the ball hard.
I remember in replacement baseball many years ago, he always had a strong arm from the outfield.
A strike. I'm talking about the football draft. Carl Everett was a fine football player in high school. The Tampa area, the state of Florida, produces so many top football players. But as a senior running back at Hillsborough High School, Everett rushed for 948 yards. Foul tip. He's also a track star in high school, part of the 4x100 relay team that won the Florida State title as a sophomore. Hillsborough High School, the same school in Tampa that produced Dwight Gooden and Gary Sheffield.
Gooden has to be excited going back to Tampa to pitch for Vince Namoli's ball club down there.
And they need the help. Tampa Bay's staff ERA entering today's action 7.77. And they are 3-8. They've already fired the pitching coach, Rick Williams, replaced by Bill Fisher. 2 men with Red Sox connections. Fisher once the Red Sox pitching coach. Rick Williams, the son of former Sox manager Dick Williams. Everett goes down swinging. That ends the 4th. It's the first strikeout for Ron Mayhay. After 4, the Red Sox lead 7-2.
I think the Boys and Girls Club plays a big role in the development of young kids. I wish I had something like that when I was growing up.
I did some work in the Boys and Girls Club, and I started off with the computer work so that they are able to keep up with the times. The Boys and Girls Club gave me an opportunity to give back. That's something that's really important to me.
I think it's real important, not only for me, but for a lot of Major League players to give something back. That makes a whole difference to me.
New Chrysler cars are changing the way people behave. And this spring, we're making it easier to own one. With 0.9 financing for up to 60 months on any new 2000 Chrysler. For over $5,000 in finance savings on select models.
That's the third time they've washed mine.
See your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Back at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox behind Pedro Martinez have a 7-2 lead as we head to the fifth, and we remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
Now batting for Oakland.
Very pleasant day. The clouds have moved in with no precipitation at this point, and the game time temperature 70 degrees. Pedro Martinez with a 5-run lead. As he goes to work against the number 9 man, Miguel Tejada, who was hit by a pitch on the left shoulder in the third inning, and he scored the second run. He gets a comebacker right back to Pedro. 1 out.
Funny, last night in the game, Tejada, who had been having his struggles after one at bat, gave his batting gloves to a young fan in the front row.
I saw that.
And then the next time he came up, he had a triple. So trying something new.
And then later in the game, after he struck out, and they were way ahead, he
was very
quite
upset.
salty in the dugout. Yeah. I would imagine that your teammates might not like that. It's 13-4.
Yeah, but it's common among all players. I mean, regardless of the score, you got to go to the plate and you're trying to get your hits every time up, and that's not unusual.
No, it isn't.
Some guys will take it down in the tunnel and and have a little fun down there, but
Rich Becker sends one out of play to the left, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2. He struck out in the first and singled to right in the third. Pedro has struck out 6. He's had at least one in every inning. Strike 3. 7 strikeouts for Pedro, 3 away from being in double digits for the 11th straight time in regular season play.
Quite a few more curveballs for Pedro over the last couple of innings. That's the third straight strikeout he's got with the curveball. And we talked about it last time, Sean. Not only the great stuff for Pedro, but as a hitter, I mean, what do you look for? You just don't know what you're going to get at any count.
No. You should just have a 1 out of 3 chance of guessing correctly. Frank Menachino has walked and struck out.
This is a perfect example. When the last time you think Menachino saw a changeup from a right-hander on the first pitch?
Menachino pops one back here.
By the way, our apologies, my apologies to Menachino. I was calling him Menachino last night. So for the Menachinos who are watching, maybe we've got to correct today.
You're a very honest man. I think you could have gotten away with that with a lot of people. Especially those who don't have Nesson. The fans want another punch out. It's just outside. It hasn't been Pedro's best performance. He has allowed just 2 runs here in the 5th inning. He's retired the last 5, 3 via the strikeout, make it 6, 4 via the strikeout, and 8 Ks in all for Martinez. Halfway through the ball game, the Red Sox 7 and Oakland 2. Bottom third of the order against Ron Mayhay. He's pitched 2 in the third innings of scoreless relief. Jason Varitek leads off. Takes the ball up and away. Varitek struck out to end the first. He walked as the first man to face Mayhay. In the second, Oakland starter, who's just tuning in, Tim Hudson, lasted just an inning and 2/3 and gave up all 7 runs. 3 runs are batted in each in the ball game for Carl Everett and Brian Daubach. Varitek hits one hard down the left field line. Gone! Just over the wall. Laser beam. It kept on rising as it went down the left field line, and it just did clear the wall by inches. Varitek's first home run of the year. First run allowed today by Mayhay, and it's 8-2 Red Sox.
What would this be, Sean? Maybe a 2-iron or something?
Yes.
Shot just on the line and just over the wall. A golf shot by Varitek to pick up his first home run of the season. Oh, my goodness.
Did you think that was going to get out of here when he hit that?
I thought it was going to knock the wall down, maybe. But
maybe about halfway up. It looked like it kept rising. The Red Sox first hit against Mayhay. Danny Alexander gets one past the mound. Picked up by Tejada. Errant throw, and Alexander's safe.
Tejada made 21 errors a year ago, and this may be his second of this season. Ball just sails on him back up the line, and it's going to pull Almedo Signs off that first base bag.
It is an error on Tejada, the second error for Oakland this afternoon. Alexander's at first. He's 1 for 3. And the batter is Darren Lewis. He takes a strike. Lewis walked and scored in the second and lined softly to the second baseman Menachino in the third. The ball up and away. Ball and a strike on Darren Lewis with Jose Offerman on deck. Ball 2, 2-1. Mayhay to first. Let's pause for station identification along the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
You're watching Red Sox baseball on Eastern and Central Maine's local sports leader. WAPI-TV, Channel 5, Bangor.
A pitch to Lewis, chopped foul. Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy at Fenway Park. A big crowd on hand. Looks to be a sellout. They've enjoyed what they have seen on Kids Opening Day. Red Sox got 2 in the first, 5 in the second. And they now lead Oakland 8-2. And with Pedro Martinez on the mound, that's a 6-run lead that feels about as safe as a 6-run lead can in this ballpark with the wind blowing out. Mayhay to first again.
Should be a great weekend for crowds. It was a good crowd last night. Certainly today, just about packed. Sunday against Oakland should be good, and we always have a good deal here on the 11 o'clock start on Monday.
Up and in, a full count. We'll see if Alexander's running on the 3-2 pitch.
I would think he would be going, even with the 6-run lead. Don't have a guy that strikes out very much at the plate.
He does hit it on the ground a lot. And Alexander does run, and Darren lines one into right center, a hit. Alexander on his way to third.
And Lewis having a nice day. He walked back in the second, hit a hardline drive. Domenichino at second base now picks up the base hit. It's good for that base runner, too. That plays in front of him. He can just see the ball go into the outfield. Just doesn't have to hesitate and advance a base to third.
First and third, still nobody out. The Red Sox.
Defensive catcher of the two. This ball here will try to be blocked, but then just deflect right up over the shoulder. And back to the backstop. Hernandez actually took over the job a year ago. Mike McFarland was put on the disabled list. They called him up and he played very well.
A.J. Hinch last year, young catcher out of Stanford. He's been in the minors. Another one that almost sailed past Hernandez. 2-0 the count now on Offerman. 9 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for Boston. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors for Oakland. In the 5th inning. Taking all the way, Offerman looked at strike 1. The runs in this inning, the first damage done to Mayhay. Off-speed pitch, pulled it deep short. Tejada on the move. Nice play, and on to third goes Lewis. Alert base running by Darren. So Tejada booted an easy one and then makes a nice play on a tougher chance to get Offerman.
2 nice plays. First by Tejada, makes a nice throw here to get Offerman at first base, but excellent base running. Those are the little things that Lewis will do in the course of a game. They don't come up in the box scores, but you know, as soon as that ball goes, he's got no chance of getting him at third base. So he'll just move up 1 and get there with less than 2 outs.
Now Oakland brings the infield in with Lewis at third and 1 out, and Trot Nixon up there taking a ball up and in. Nixon a sacrifice bunt. He walked and scored in the second, fly to right in the third. Nearly grazed him. Up and in again. 2-0. Red Sox at 5-5, tied with Baltimore for second in the American League East. Game and a half behind the first place Yankees. Off-speed pitch, foul tip. The Yankees at home against Kansas City, still leading 5-0. Now in the 6th inning. You know, the Orioles have lost 4 in a row. Their bullpen has been a disaster. They had all those blown leads in the series at Kansas City. Then the Orioles went to Minnesota last night. The Twins scored 6 runs in the 8th to erase a 9-3 deficit. Minnesota wound up winning 10-9. Ball 4. Nixon walks. 3rd walk for Mayhay. 7th for Oakland pitchers. Rick Peterson's on the phone to the bullpen. They're going to get some action started out there.
Oh, what a sharp looking watch we just received. The Wally watch. They're giving these out today, right?
Yes, they are. At least it is Gaino in the bullpen. Yes, they were giving out these Wally wrist watches to the first 12,000 fans, 15 and under. Jerry's already wearing his. Mine doesn't have the right time, though. What time does yours say?
6:27.
It's off by a little. Mine says 8:10.
But this is much better than a Rolex. There's no question about that.
I saw a guy outside Fenway when I was walking in today who had about 7 or 8 of these Wallies right up his left arm. Asked me if I wanted to buy one.
Was he from New York?
Said I know Wally himself. He would give me one. And here he is to give us this one. Very, very handsome, and I'm sure very dependable keeper of time.
Brian Daubach has been dependable throughout this early season. He's doubled twice and walked today, has driven in 3, and he has scored twice. Sends that to shallow center. Becker late start, fooled by the big swing. Lewis tagged but won't try it. First and third now with 2 down. So Daubach with a chance for another RBI. Couldn't quite get that one deep enough. And it's still 9-2 Red Sox. Runners at the corners, 2 outs in the 5th inning for Nomar Garciaparra.
They haven't been able to get Daubach out very much in this series. 2 for 3 last night, 2 for 3 again here.
Nomar an infield single, a walk, and last time up he lined to left. Hitting .341, still looking for his first home run. You'd have to think that would come sooner rather than later. Pulled that one to deep third. Chavez along the line. 2 signs. And that ends the inning. The Red Sox get 2 runs. One of them earned in the 5th. And they lead 9-2 after 5 at Fenway.
This adorable stuffed mini Wally character has a convenient backpack clip, so you can carry Wally wherever you go, courtesy of Papa Gino's.
You changed the copy for that. I'm glad that you did.
I get
you
rid
say
of
carry a little bit of Wally. It sounded like you would only take his leg or his arm or something, and
not fair to him.
No, not at all. It would hurt. Ben Grieve down to first. Daubach waves Martinez away. 1 pitch and 1 out. Grieve's 1 for 3. Martinez in 5 1/3 innings has allowed 2 earned runs on 4 hits. He's walked 1 that was back in the 1st inning and hit a batter. Then he has struck out 8. He's given up a home run to the man at the plate, Olmedo Signs, who homered just over the wall in straightaway center field in the 2nd inning. He grounded out in the 3rd. 9-2 Boston. We talked earlier, Jerry, at the top of the telecast about Pedro's stats and then the other starting pitchers, but the fact of the matter is, beginning with Pedro's brother, Ramon, in the home opener, the Red Sox won 3 in a row in games started by the other starters, Ramon, Jeff Fassero, and Pete Shurik, before they lost behind Brian Rose last night.
And Shurik had a good game the other night. A good changeup. Ramon certainly was better. Fassero was better. Only 2 tough outings all year, with a one by Ramon in his first outing in Seattle, and of course Brian Rose here last night.
1-2 the count on Signs.
The numbers last year were pretty much the same way. Pedro with the big winning percentage, and not quite the same for the rest of the rotation.
And 1 strikeout number 9. He might have had it if Veritek had been able to squeeze it. Boy, has he had a problem with that this year. Seems like every game there's a couple of pitches that hit him right in the mitt and pop out.
Sometimes you almost expect that maybe he was crossed up, but that's not the case here.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good pitch. Now the 2-2. 9 strikeouts. Second time, or rather the first time today, that Signs has fanned. Pedro continues his string of having had at least 1 Machado in every inning.
Changeup that time. Again, the changeup to the right-handed hitter. You see the balance, the weight on the front foot for Signs. You watch those guys put those K signs up out there in the bullpen. The regular K, of course, is swinging, and when it's facing the other way, that's looking.
Los Ponchados de Pedro, it says on the left. They got the whole thing down out there now. They have the outfits. Pedro is settled into a Pedro-esque groove now. He's retired 8 in a row. The last man to reach Matt Stairs, who had a soft single to center in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. 9-2 Red Sox in the 6th. Stairs hits that high in the air and pretty deep in right center. Nixon on the edge of the warning track. A 1-2-3 inning for Martinez. He's retired 9 in a row. To the bottom of the 6th, the Red Sox 9, the Athletics 2. By Dunkin' Donuts. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Red Sox lead 9-2. They roughed up the Oakland starter Tim Hudson for 7 runs in an inning and 2/3. Brian Daubach has driven in 3, as has Carl Everett. Pedro Martinez has settled into a nice groove. The game summary brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Troy O'Leary leads off against Ron Mayhay, and he took ball 1. O'Leary has walked, reached on a fielder's choice, and scored in the 2nd and fly to left in the 4th. Carl Everett and Jason Varitek to follow. The ball 2-0. Hit on the ground down to first, gobbled up by Signs. He wins the race to the base for the first out of the inning.
Well, Ron Mayhay has pitched pretty well in this ball game. Of course, gave up the home run to Varitek and another run scoring in that inning, but overall much better outing for him today than in that first start that he had.
Carl Everett.
Carl Everett, the batter, swing and a miss for strike 1. He drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 1st. He doubled to knock in 2 more in the 2nd. Then he struck out against Mayhay in the 4th. Off the end of the bat, a pop fly in shallow center. Becker charging hard, can't get it. It gets past him, picked up by Tejada, and Everett hustles into second with a bloop double.
Well, that's one of the things that Jimmy Williams loves about Everett so far. Every ball he runs out hard, and that, of course, when you do that, you get a chance to stretch those singles into doubles. And a lot of guys hit that pop up and they'll just kind of walk 3/4 speed down to first base. Becker throws just a bit in center field. That ball toward the end of the bat, he can't get it, and all it takes is this little hesitation by Tejada, and that's going to allow Everett into second base with a head first slide. Good hustle.
2 doubles today, doubling his season total. Now has 4 for the year. Well, the Red Sox have another man in scoring position with 1 out, leading by 7 in the 6th inning. Jason Varitek homered his last time up. That was last inning. Ball in the dirt. He had a line shot that just did clear the top of the wall along the line in left. First of the year for Varitek. Up and away, 2-0. There is action again in the Oakland bullpen.
Varitek, strange. Looks like a low ball hitter from the right side, a high ball hitter from the left side of the plate. Usually it's just kind of flip-flop of that.
Caino, who was up last inning, is warming up again. 2-0. Out in front of the off-speed pitch. Jason has a very big hole on the right side of the infield at which to shoot. And then Aquino, the second baseman, playing close to the bag, trying to keep Everett close. And Signs close to the line at first. Varitek takes it to the right side, but right at Jeremy Giambi. Everett back to second with 2 outs.
There's that pitch again down, a low pitch, and again Varitek puts it on the line to the opposite field, but right at Giambi. A lot of right-handed hitters, high ball hitters, left-handed hitters, low ball hitters. Kind of just the opposite for Varitek. And looks like that's going to be it for Ron Mayhay.
He has done a good job. He's given up just 1 earned run in this lengthy relief stint, and he'll be replaced by the right-hander Luis Vizcaino. In the 6th inning, the Red Sox lead 9-2, and we'll return to Fenway Park right after this.
My kids are my top priority.
on Fox 25. There's the score. The Red Sox 9, the Athletics 2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Oakland will have a new pitcher, Luis Vizcaíno, working in his 4th game of the season, 2.57 ERA. He has been in the A's organization since '96. He was playing in the Dominican. He's from the Dominican with the Dominican A's and taken out of that league by the Athletics. Got 1 appearance a year ago for Oakland in the big leagues. That was against Kansas City. Spent most of the time at Midland in Double-A baseball.
The third baseman,
Ron Mayhay pitched 4 innings of relief, allowed 2 runs, 1 earned. He's responsible for Everett, the runner at second base. With 2 outs in the 6th, and the batter is Manny Alexander, who has scored 2 runs today. 9-2 Boston. The hit's 9-4 in favor of the Red Sox. Oakland has made 2 errors. This is Caino's first pitch outside. Alexander tripled and scored in the 2nd. Flied out later in that inning as he started and ended the inning. The Red Sox sent 10 men to the plate, and he reached on the error by Tejada and scored an unearned run last inning. Pulls that down the left field line. Grieve running into the corner, and it's just into the seats.
Nice to see the fans here today without wearing the heavy jackets and the snow hats and everything else. More like a summer-looking crowd here. The T-shirts.
I guess the weather might be a little iffy the next day or 2. Chance of some rain coming in. I think it might happen overnight tonight, though, and then clear off in the morning tomorrow. One of the last weather report that I saw this morning. The lights are on here at Fenway under cloudy skies. Very pleasant temperature, near 70 degrees. Ball in the dirt, 2-1. Ball 3 up and away. This is one Dominican facing another Manny Alexander from San Pedro de Macorís, the city that's produced so many major league players.
So at one point they all wanted to be shortstops from that area, but now because of Pedro Martinez they all want to be pitchers.
Vizcaíno threw the fastball past him. Pedro. Obviously something amusing is taking place near him in the dugout. 3-2 pitch. He walked him. They've walked 8 of the Oakland hurlers today. Red Sox pitchers walked 8 last night.
Number 20, the center fielder, Darren Lewis.
So 2 men on with 2 outs. Everett at second. Alexander at first for Darren Lewis, who's had a good day. He walked and scored in the 2nd, lined out in the 3rd, and singled to center in the 5th. The single sent Alexander over to 3rd. Alexander scored from 3rd on a wild pitch. 1-0 on Lewis. Outfield way around toward right. Giambi very shallow in right field for Darren. Ball 2 low and away. And Tejada, the shortstop, is going to come in to chat with Vizcaíno. Both bullpens are quiet. Breeze still blowing out towards center field, but it seems to have diminished somewhat. Slap foul almost got Tommy Harper. Tommy had to jump out of the way.
Still has those quick feet, huh?
Yes.
Long shot. Tommy, a little jump rope.
Trying to believe he's now 59 years old. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago that he played for the Red Sox, but it was 1974 when he last played for Boston. Tommy finished his playing career in '76 with the Orioles. And a very good major league career. 286 stolen bases, 102 homers, 257 lifetime average, and 15 major league seasons with Cincinnati, the old Seattle Pilots, Milwaukee, the Red Sox, California, Oakland, and Baltimore. The 2-2 to Lewis. And fouls it out of play to the right.
Somebody made a diving catch on that one down in the walkway.
Yeah, hit the facade of the upper deck and kicked back down to the runway, and that fan was a little wobbly as he gets up. Made a diving play in the main aisle that goes between the lower and upper boxes. Lewis trying to dump it in shallow center. Becker dropped the ball. Got a late start, then got there, got a glove on it, but couldn't catch it. Everett scored. Alexander to third. The Red Sox catch a break. It's 10-2.
Well, Becker's having all kind of difficulty out there in center field today. That's a couple of times in this inning that he has broke late on the ball. The one by Everett, and now again on this one by Lewis. Got a glove on that one, but couldn't make the catch.
And it's an error on Becker, as it should be. No RBI for Lewis. The run charged to Mayhay, but that'll be another unearned run. So he gave up 3 runs, 1 earned in his 4 innings. 3 errors today for Oakland. Here's Jose Offerman. Cue shot down to third. Chavez bobbles it. He can't come up with it. Error number 4 for Oakland. Alexander in to make it 11-2.
You almost had a feeling that was going to happen to Chavez. That ball was hit with a lot of spin on it down toward third base, and it just kept spinning right out of the glove. Long afternoon for Art Howe in that Oakland dugout. Backs up just a bit, can't find the handle, can't pick it up, and everybody's safe. You mentioned Chavez, very good defensive third baseman also. Oh, I mean 9 errors all of last season.
Number 7, the right fielder.
So back-to-back errors after the walk. 2 runs in this inning. That run charged to Vizcaíno. That'll be an unearned run on the ledger of Luis. And there's Real Cormier warming up in the bullpen.
This game looks more like the Minnesota series.
Yes. We have seen some ugly baseball over these first 11 games of the year. Fortunately for the Red Sox, it is the Athletics providing the ugliness today. Trot Nixon, the batter. He has walked twice and sacrificed, had 1 official time at bat and flied to right. He has scored a run. That was after his walk in the second. Strike, 0-2. Sun back out here, at least for a moment at Fenway. The 0-2 pitch. He struck him out. First strikeout for Vizcaíno. It ends the inning, but the Red Sox get 2 unearned runs in the 6th. After 6, 11-2 Boston on the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
Tools and equipment. Contractors and industry owe their livelihood to them. That's why when the pros rent, they count on J-Rent. From tillers to tampers, lifts and loaders, stump grinders and steam cleaners, to chippers and sweepers, J-Rent has the right tool for the job. With 35 years in the construction business, the folks at J-Rent know you expect clean, reliable, ready-to-run equipment, and J-Rent delivers. Whether you're the contractor who needs to bring the job in on time or the do-it-yourselfer demanding professional results, you can count on J-Rent.
Look there, there it goes! When you look up and see a power line, remember that it could be charged with over 300,000 volts of electricity. Stay clear. Never fly kites or climb trees near power lines for any reason. If your kite gets stuck near power lines, call CMP.
Play it safe. Find out what's cool and what's not in CMP Smart Power Safety Guide. And remember, no line safe to touch. Ever.
If you've ever done a building project, you know how easy it is to lose time and money driving back and forth to the store. Well, the people at Hammond Lumber Company think you should leave the driving to them. Hammond will deliver any sizable order straight to your home or job site for free, usually within 24 hours and sometimes sooner. So next time you're building or remodeling, let Hammond Lumber do the driving. And don't you move a doggone inch.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by the New England Jeep dealers. Jeep, there's only one, and by Nissan, Driven. Seventh inning. Jeremy Giambi facing Pedro Martinez. Ball one. Giambi is grounded out and struck out. Pedro's retired 9 in a row. 2-0 the count. Probably the last inning for Pedro, with Cormier warming up and with a 9-run lead. No reason to inflict more wear and tear on Pedro. Well struck, a base hit. The 5th Oakland hit. Single to center for Jeremy Giambi.
Pedro also working this game today with the extra day's rest. You gave those numbers earlier in the ball game. Very effective with that 5th day.
Ramon Hernandez.
He needs 1 strikeout to extend his streak of consecutive regular season games with 10 or more strikeouts to 11 games. Streak that began last August against Oakland. Pedro has fanned 9, walked 1. That was back in the 1st inning. He has also hit a batter. I think a good chance to get that 10th strikeout here, because Hernandez has struck out twice already. He's now 2 for 24 for the year, but he puts it in play on the left side. Alexander to Offerman on the first, not in time. Close play, but Mike DeMuro called him safe.
As a first baseman, you try to steal that call by coming off the bag just a little bit earlier than catching the baseball. Very close play at first base. Long way to go for Alexander, and you see the Offerman has to back off the bag. That takes a little extra time. It looked like the correct call. Giambi with the hard slide, getting the Offerman off the feet. Very close.
Jimmy Williams went to the mound with Chavez coming up. Looked like he might have the hook out with Pedro already. After a brief conversation with Pedro, he's back in the dugout. You know, Pedro doesn't want to come out, regardless of the situation.
Yeah, probably he knows this is the last inning and like to just finish this one off.
Chavez swinging a miss at the changeup. Chavez is lined to left and fly to right. 0 for 2. Red Sox up 11-2 in the 7th inning. 11 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Boston. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 4 errors for Oakland. On the right side, Offerman to Daubach for the second out. Hernandez in the scoring position. Now at second base.
One thing Offerman does, when he does get to the ball going to his left, he's very good at getting that body back in position to make a throw. Sometimes that's not the easiest thing for a second baseman to do. You see a lot of guys spin around and they'll make a bad throw to first base, but he's pretty accurate with those throws. Right there, about neck high to Daubach, just exactly what the first baseman wants. I would say that control, that body control, comes from his days as a shortstop.
Miguel Tejada rolls one to short. Garcia Parra throws him out. That's likely it for Pedro. 7 innings, having allowed just the 2 runs. And if it is the end for Pedro, and many of the fans are on their feet, that string of consecutive games with 10 strikeouts or more will end.
never last.
Want to get away? Fly Southwest Airlines coast to coast for $99 or less when you purchase tickets by May 3rd and travel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
You are now free to move about the country.
Breathe in and release. Now, why don't you all assume the jasmine blossom position, and I will print out today's moon sign chart. Control. Steady. Breathe. Come on, you stupid. And release.
COVAD DSL. High-speed internet access. 1-800-GO-COVAD.
The thrill of a new 240 horsepower engine. The serenity of a perfectly considered interior. The beauty of a machine in balance. The new Infiniti QX4. Imagine the ultimate luxury vehicle. We have.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at www.southwest.com. And by Infiniti, makers of the all-new i30 performance luxury sedan. It's all the best thinking. Pedro Martinez apparently finished for the day, accepting the congratulations of his teammates. New shortstop for Oakland, Jorge Velandia, takes over for Miguel Tejada. And among the big crowd here, there's Tom Hoffman in the middle of the screen, his wife Debbie and daughter Lindsay, and a bunch of their friends celebrating Lindsay's birthday here at Fenway Park today. Tom Hoffman, once the executive with the New England Patriots. And the girls excited to be on the big screen TV out in center field. Tom wearing his St. Lawrence hat. They had a big problem in that family. Tom's wife Debbie is a Boston College grad. He went to St. Lawrence. They played each other in the hockey Frozen Four.
That must have been fun for them, though.
Debbie's team won. Tom now in the world of financial planning and does a great job, and one of the real good guys in our city. A tremendous amount of work for charity that he and Debbie do. Brian Daubach, the batter. He's 2 for 3. 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. He's also walked and gets buzzed by Vizcaíno.
A couple of times today they've come up and in on Daubach.
Daubach, Garcia Parra, and O'Leary due up. Red Sox have an 11-2 lead on Kids opening day. Jason Isringhausen in the bullpen. Down and in. 3-1. We anticipate that Pedro is finished. 7 innings. 2 runs allowed. Pretty much the typical Pedro line. 95 pitches. And Jimmy Williams and Joe Kerrigan do a great job of managing his number of innings, the extra day of rest here and there. And that's one of the reasons why he generally stays strong late in the year.
When you know, there was a reputation before coming here that he would tire in the second half of the season. We didn't obviously follow Martinez up in Montreal that closely, but if that's the case, they have taken care of that problem. Keep him on that pitch count that fluctuates just a bit, and certainly at times, but any chance they get to give him the extra day rest, they'll do that.
Apparently when Pedro was with the Dodgers, Tommy Lasorda didn't think he could be a starting pitcher because he is small. Thought that the wear and tear would be a problem for him. Wow. Daubach thought it was up and in. Jerry Crawford did not agree. Strikeout for the first out of the 7th inning.
Well, one thing for certain, Vizcaíno's got a good arm.
Yes.
Good live fastball inside corner. Daubach jumping back, but it did look like it had part of the inside corner.
And Jerry Crawford's had very few disputes back there behind the plate today. One out. Garcia Parra, the hitter.
Kind of glad Tommy said that about Pedro.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good.
You know, anything to do with the Dodgers you don't like?
Not so much the current Dodgers.
They're okay?
Some of them are.
Uh-huh.
Glenn Hoffman's coaching third base, so you got to like that.
Base hit. Line shot past Belandia. Into the gap in left center. The ball cut off by Grieve. It'll hold Nomar to a long single. So another 2-hit day for Garcia Parra. He's 2 for 4. And the Red Sox are in double digits in the hit column again today. That's hit number 10.
And with the 2 hits today, Nomar extends that hitting streak to 7 games now after a slow start on that first road trip.
Troy O'Leary 0 for 3 with a walk, and he scored a run after reaching on a fielder's choice. He sends that back to the mound, knocked down by Vizcaíno, who had trouble picking it up and had to go to first for the out.
A couple of balls have been hit to the infield. Look like they have grease on them. Chavez had a tough time picking up the ball at third base, and that time Vizcaíno wanted to go to second to get the force out. Couldn't get the handle and just took the sure out at first base.
Number 2, the designated hitter, Carl Everett.
2 outs. Here's Carl Everett. He's had another big day. 3 runs batted in. 2 doubles and a sacrifice fly. He has scored a run. (11-2) Red Sox with 2 outs and a runner at second. Garcia Parra there in the 7th inning. 1 strike on Everett. Strike 2. Sellout crowd here on Kids opening day, 33,122. Second sellout of the season. The other, of course, on opening day, Tuesday. Ball up and away. 1 o'clock game here tomorrow, game 3 of this series. Ramon Martinez and Omar Olivares. We'll have it for you over these stations at 1 o'clock. And Monday, the homestand finale at 11 a.m. Everett rips one into right, a base hit. With 2 down, they'll send Garcia Parra. Giambi up and throwing. It is cut off. And the Red Sox lead 12-2, and Carl Everett has knocked in 4 runs. He has 3 hits today.
Just a mini slump for Everett. 0 for his last 8 prior to this game with 4 strikeouts. He has turned that around quickly. Changeup from Vizcaíno, but stays up just a bit, and hard line drive hit again by Everett. Omar and Everett really have been hot on this homestand. Turn things around. So you mentioned the 0 for 8 for. It's a way to turn it around, pick up 3 hits in a game instead of just that 1.
Mm-hmm. Jason Varitek looked at a strike. He has struck out, walked, homered, and lined to right. He had a home run to left field while batting right-handed against Ron Mayhay. Now he rips one down the right field line, hooking toward the corner, up into the stands on a hop. A double for Varitek. Everett has to stop at third. And that nut jumped into the stands. Everett probably would have been able to score running on contact with 2 outs.
A lot of extra base hits for the Red Sox in this game.
By my count, 7.
Yep, I think that's right.
Two men in scoring position. Manny Alexander. He has scored 3 times. He's tripled, reached on an errant walk, and scored on all 3 occasions he reached base. 1 ball on Alexander. The Red Sox 1 run shy of their season high right now. They scored 13 in the home opener against Minnesota. Vizcaíno threw it by Alexander up and in. 1-1. Red Sox with 12 runs on 12 hits. Their season high in hits is 16 in the same game against Minnesota on Tuesday. Base hit. Everett scores. Varitek right behind. He scores. It's 14-2, and the Red Sox have a new single game high in runs for the season. And Alexander's been on base 4 times.
Well, you know, you make a couple of switches in the lineup to give some people some at-bats and others day off, and well, they both responded. Alexander, you mentioned a triple, base hit now to drive in a couple of runs. He's walked. Lewis coming to the plate. He's got a hit. He's also walked. Keeps guys happy, gives them a chance to get some at-bats, keeps them fresh, feel like they're part of everything.
Darren Lewis has walked and scored, lined out, singled, and reached on the error by Becker, who dropped his fly ball last inning in center field. 1 strike on Lewis after the foul ball. Well, that's one of Jimmy Williams' real strengths. He does play everybody. And as a result of that and many other of Jimmy's personality traits, he generally has a very happy team, clubhouse on his hands.
That's why they were questioning him about calling up Sadler, not calling Sadler up when Gaetti retired. And look, we want him down there getting some at-bats. He needs to play. We don't want him up here sitting on the bench. When he comes to the big leagues, we want him as an everyday player.
For those of you who might have missed it yesterday, Gary Gaetti did announce his retirement. Andy Sheets was called up from Pawtucket. Lewis trying to dump one in center field again. Becker dives. This time makes the catch. He's had an eventful day in center field. 3 runs on 4 hits in the 7th for the Red Sox. The Red Sox now lead 14-2. This is the Fox 25 Red Sox Network.
You don't need to drive a great distance for your family's health care. Coldstream Healthcare is just around the corner. Coldstream Healthcare serves the Howland and Lincoln area Monday through Friday 7 to 6 and Saturdays 8 to noon. Scheduling your annual and physical exams, vaccinations, or follow-up care is convenient and easy. Walk in for emergency care or any common illness. Plus, Coldstream Healthcare offers on-site laboratory services. Convenient quality healthcare is where you want it, when you want it. Coldstream Healthcare in West Enfield.
What's important to me is developing a great team, working together, and having fun. I think to build a successful team or a successful company, it takes patience, hard work, and a little more patience. Being part of a winning team, it's just important to me.
What's important to you? MBNA New England. For career opportunities, call 1-888-473-MBNA.
My kids are my top priority. Are they happy? Are they safe? Of course. I drive a Windstar.
The 5-star safety-rated 2000 Ford Windstar. Complete with over 40 standard safety features, anti-lock brakes, an available reverse sensing system, and dual front and side airbags. Now you can get 0.9% financing on any new Windstar in stock. That's low 0.9 financing.
Think about your priorities. Then get a Windstar.
At your New England Ford dealers today.
Is growing in the Granite State. The juvenile court proceedings to be made.
First chance to get the weather and your first look at scores and highlights from around the world of sports. Fox 25 News at 10. Your first choice for news. Changes for the Red Sox. Jeff Fry is in to play second base. Jose Offerman has the rest of the day off. And the new pitcher after 7 strong innings from Pedro Martinez. Here's Real Cormier.
Fourth appearance of the season for Cormier. His last coming on the 12th against the Minnesota Twins. A couple of innings in that ball game. A couple of perfect innings for Cormier. So far this season, left-hand is 0 for 4 against Real.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
He's in protecting a 12-run lead, 14-2.
Number 28, Ryan.
Martinez, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 9, hit a batter, gave up a home run through 95 pitches. And he'll be 3-0 when this game is over. He'll be the first 3-game winner in the American League. Ryan Christensen is the pinch hitter, batting for Rich Becker. Becker went 1 for 3. Christensen has been up 11 times with 1 hit this year, a single. Menachino and Grieve scheduled to follow. Cormier throws a strike.
That hit for Christensen coming in the game here last night at Fenway. His first hit of the 2000 season.
Yankees now lead Kansas City 7-1 in the 7th inning at Yankee Stadium. Comebacker right to Cormier. Christensen out, 1 out. Roberto Kelly and Chuck Knobloch have homered today for the Yankees. There's Tim Wakefield warming up in the bullpen.
Number 11, the second baseman, Frank Menachino.
Frank Menachino walked, the only walk thrown by Martinez. That was back in the first inning. Then he struck out twice. Line caught on a little leap by Jeff Fry. 2 outs.
Sounded like a broken bat line drive to second base. Fry a couple of steps to his left and didn't show all his skills as far as leaping ability. Didn't have to go really that high for it.
Number 14, the left fielder, Ben Grieve.
See Jeff twisting his head and neck there a little bit. He has been bothered by a stiff neck recently. Seen him a couple times in the clubhouse walking around with a big ice bag in the back of his neck. Ben Grieve, the batter. Ball 1 low. Grieve 1 for 3. Single to knock in a run in the 3rd. That was the last time the Athletics scored. They scored a run in the 2nd on a homer by Olmedo Sainz. And run in the 3rd on the single by Grieve. And Cormier snares a hot comebacker and throws him out. A couple of assists in the inning for Real. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Red Sox leading 14-2.
I'm too sexy. I'm too sexy. I'm too sexy for the drive-thru. And I'm too sexy for my car seat. Too sexy for the groceries. Too sexy for the dry cleaning. Introducing the newly updated Camry. So stylish it could go to your head. I'm too sexy for the slow lane. Too sexy for the neighbors. Too sexy for the car wash. Too sexy.
Happy, Daddy.
Is that beautiful?
So handsome.
It is beautiful. Who should we send it to first?
Michael and Claire.
800 megahertz computer.
They're going to love him.
Bye-bye. Oh, Michael.
Yeah.
We have an email from Amy and Roger. I bet it's a picture of their baby.
MSN Internet access.
What a cute little baby, don't you think? Michael.
And a digital camera for exceptionally vivid images.
Turn on the fun, Best Buy.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at www.southwest.com. By your friendly New England Dodge dealers. By Dunkin' Donuts. By your New England Toyota dealers, where you'll find exceptional value every day. by McDonald's. Come into McDonald's and try the new Big Extra. Did somebody say McDonald's? And by your New England Ford dealers. Visit your New England Ford dealers for the best-selling trucks on the planet. Ryan Christensen stays in the game to play center field for Oakland as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Athletics as well. Their 4th pitcher of the day, their closer, right-hander Jason Isringhausen.
Now, he really took over that job last season, and he's a perfect 9 for 9 in an Oakland uniform in saves. He has the only one that they have on the team so far this year. He hasn't worked in a couple of days, so he's in here to get an inning's worth of work for Howe.
Tim Hudson, the starter, lasted an inning and 2/3. Ron Mayhew pitched 4 innings. Luis Vizcaíno pitched an inning and a third and gave up 4 runs, 3 earned on 4 hits and a walk. He struck out 2. And now it's Isringhausen to face the top of the order. Jeff Fry will lead off. Todd Nixon and Brian Daubach scheduled to follow. Fry up for the first time today, 2 for 10 for the year with 2 singles and a run batted in. Beach ball on the field and left, so let's pause for station identification along the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy at sold-out Fenway Park. Red Sox about to even this series at 1 win apiece. They lead 14-2 in the 8th. Jeff Fry took a ball low and away. Earlier we gave you the first 13 picks of the first round of the NFL draft, which is going on today. There have been a few more picks made. The 14th pick, Green Bay, Bubba Franks, fine tight end from Miami. Considered the best tight end of the draft, and that's probably why he was the first tight end chosen. Denver picked 15th, took Delta O'Neal, a cornerback from the University of California. San Francisco with the 16th pick took linebacker Julian Peterson from Michigan State. Oakland picking 17th took the kicker Sebastian Janikowski from Florida State. Then the Jets with the 18th pick chose Chad Pennington, the first quarterback selected from Marshall University. Seattle had the 19th pick, took running back Sean Alexander from the University of Alabama. Detroit selecting 20th took offensive tackle Stalker McDougal from Oklahoma. And Kansas City with the 21st pick took Sylvester Morris, a wide receiver from Jackson State. Patriots again don't pick until 46th in the second round. Slap to right, caught by Giambi, 1 out.
Nothing about Wally yet. Wally
has not been chosen. Wally is getting a little downcast here in our booth, expecting to have gone by now. I think the concerns about the back injury.
Yeah, knocked him down about probably 50, 60 picks.
Yeah, cost him a lot of money. I think the fear is that Wally wouldn't sign. He's very dedicated to his work here at Fenway Park.
Plus he doesn't like double sessions.
Trot Nixon walked twice, had a sacrifice bunt, struck out and flied out. He looked at ball 1 from Isringhausen. Fisted foul.
That kicker that was taken shot, isn't it the guy that had difficulty making curfew?
Yeah, he's kind of a nightlife guy, yeah. Janikowski.
Where's he going to play?
Oakland.
The Bay Area. Head over to San Francisco.
He's an Al Davis kind of guy, though. You know, a little bit of a rebel, I guess. There's been some speculation that he would get picked by St. Louis, the defending world champs, with the last pick of the round, but he didn't last that long. One and 2, the count on Nixon with Daubach on deck. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball snapped off by Isringhausen into the dirt. Isringhausen, 27 years old, 6'3", 210 pounds. Drafted by the Mets. The 44th round back in 1991. Quickly became a top prospect. And he gets Nixon. Second time Trot is fan today. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Yeah, looks like Nixon's 8-game hitting streak will come to an end. And base once, a couple of times with a walk today, and also had a sacrifice back in the first inning.
Number 23, the first baseman, Brian Daubach.
Now Brian Daubach doubles in his first 2 at-bats. Drove in 1 run with the double in the first and scored. Knocked in 2 with his double in the second inning and scored again. Since then he has walked, flied to center, and struck out. Red Sox lead 14-2 with the bases empty and 2 down in the 8th inning. This is one Illinois native facing another. Daubach from Belleville, Illinois, the southern part of the state, and Jason Isringhausen is from Brighton, Illinois. In high school, Isringhausen was a catcher, third baseman, and center fielder. Then went to Lewis and Clark Community College in Illinois and was a center fielder in his 2 years. Did not pitch until after he was drafted by the Mets. He's come back from reconstructive surgery on his right elbow 2 years ago. 2 balls and a strike.
And they had Billy Taylor out there. Let him go. Isringhausen proving that he could take over that job. They got the veteran Doug Johns, who is basically now a setup man.
And Isringhausen and Taylor were traded for each other at the trading deadline last year. As Isringhausen came over from the Mets just hours before the trading deadline, and Taylor went over to the Mets.
There's some talk about Taylor during spring training maybe being traded away again. And he was released, huh?
Mm-hmm. Haven't heard if or where he has landed.
Yeah.
There are empty seats now around the ballpark with the game at the 3-hour mark, and the outcome no longer in doubt. The 2-2 pitch is wide. Are you going to be here Monday? I've heard some rumors that this is the year you're going to run the marathon and challenge the leaders.
No, with the new deal here with the Fox folks, I'm going to be here doing the ball game.
Okay. Daubach out on the ground ball to second. Menachino threw him out. 14-2 as we head to the 9th.
Who am I? Me. Who are you? Me. Music for you. Music.
Me music on SonicNet.com. Log on to SonicNet.com. Listen to music.
Being on the SonicNet.com, yo.
Create your own radio station.
Music,
Hear the music you love.
SonicNet.com.
Experience Me Music on SonicNet.com. From the MTVI Group.
Right now, you can get home delivery of the new Boston Herald at more than half off the newsstand price. 24 weeks of the Herald for just $2.13 a week. Call for home delivery today.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Red Sox, number 49, Tim Wakefield.
With gas prices the way they are, we'd like to take this moment to add a helpful little reminder. The very fuel-efficient Civic from Honda. Now get special financing as low as 4.9% APR for 36 months on all new Civics.
The play of the game is brought to you by New England Ford dealers. And this back in the first inning, the first strikeout of the day by Pedro Martinez against Rich Becker. Pedro in 7 innings today ended up with the 9 strikeouts. Your New England Ford dealers proud to support the Boston Red Sox. Visit your New England Ford dealers for the best-selling trucks on the planet.
The Red Sox on their way to victory, a 12-run lead. The task of protecting that margin turned over to Tim Wakefield.
4th appearance for Wakefield on the young season, a record of 1-0 with a 2.57 ERA. He last worked in that Minnesota series on the 13th, a couple of days ago. Pitched an inning and had a couple of strikeouts against the Twins.
Olmedo signs, looks at strike 1. He homered in the second, grounded out and struck out after that against Martinez. Line to center, a base hit. Lewis racing to cut it off, but has to chase it all the way into the triangle, and Signs pulls up at second base with a leadoff double.
Had a nice afternoon, had the home run to lead off the second inning, and now goes 2 for 4 with that leadoff double.
Number 12.
Jahar's a late scratch yesterday in a lineup, and they just put Signs in that number 4 spot.
Matt Stairs at the plate, 1 for 3 with a single in the 4th. 6 hits now for Oakland. That double by Signs, just their 3rd hit since the 3rd inning. Jeremy Giambi on deck. The 0-1 is up and in. One o'clock start here tomorrow. Johnny Kelly, the legendary marathoner, is going to throw out the first pitch. Ramon Martinez and Omar Olivares on Fox 25 and our Red Sox network. Very high fly ball along the right field line. Nixon over, no play. See if Ramon can make it 2 strong starts in a row after his encouraging performance on home opening day Tuesday against Minnesota, facing a better lineup tomorrow.
And sitting there the whole game watching the Oakland hitters last 2 nights, getting his game plan together.
Slashing swing and a foul ball from Stairs. A couple of transactions today. The Detroit Tigers had to put Damian Easley, their fine second baseman, on the 15-day disabled list with a strained right rib cage. And they've recalled pitcher Jeff Weaver from their AAA club in Toledo. Pulled down the line. Loved by Daubach. He feeds Wakefield for the out. On to third. Signs with 1 down. And the Texas Rangers had to put Rusty Greer on the 15-day disabled list with a hamstring strain. And they've called outfielder Jason McDonald up from Oklahoma, their AAA club in the Pacific Coast League. Jeremy Giambi, the hitter. He swats one out of play to the left. He's 1 for 3, a single in the 7th inning. Pulled foul. And 2 on Giambi with Ramon Hernandez, the catcher, due to follow. The 0-2 pitch. Rattled the mask of Veritek. Pedro Martinez started in 7 innings. Real Cormier pitched a 1-2-3 8th inning. Now Wakefield trying to finish the job. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3. It looked like the rare fastball snuck in by Wakefield to surprise Giambi and get the strikeout.
Exactly. Hit surprising him, expecting to get the knuckleball in Wakefield. Well, that might have looked like it was 95 miles an hour on the inside corner.
Hernandez.
Now Ramon Hernandez trying to keep Oakland alive. It's a little squibber on the left side. Alexander throws him out. Nice play to win the ball game. And the Red Sox even this series at 1 win apiece. The final score, Boston 14 and Oakland 2. The totals and more from Fenway after this.
With most compact sport utilities, there's sport, but darn little utility. Durango, however, gives you best-in-class power and passenger room. Plus, as I'm about to demonstrate, best-in-class cargo room. Fellas, little help here. Dodge. Different. See the friendly New England Dodge dealer near you.
This is your modem. This is what we do to your modem. For internet service up to 100 times faster, call 1-877-FLASH-COM. Now get connected from only $39.95 a month. FlashCom. Get up to speed.
The totals for today's game for Boston, a season high 14 runs on 13 hits, no errors and 9 men left. Oakland 2 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors and 5 men left on base. Pedro Martinez a perfect 3 for 3 this season as he went 7 innings. He's 3-0. Tim Hudson lasted just an inning and 2/3 and took the loss. He's 1-1. Time of the ball game 3 hours and 6 minutes before a sellout crowd on Kids opening day of 33,122. They watched Jason Varitek hit a home run, Carl Everett driving 4 runs, and Brian Daubach delivered 3. Once again, the final score, the Red Sox 14 and the Oakland Athletics 2. This is the Fox 25 Boston Red Sox Network. Sunday, the Red Sox were in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. Enter Pedro Martinez and the Boston Bats. The Red Sox won 5 of their next 6 games, outscoring their opponents 49-22 in that span. It has been a memorable week. Ramon Martinez hopes to start another productive week. It's next on Fox 25. Fox 25 Sports presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Today from Fenway Park, Game 3 of this 4-game series between the Red Sox and the Oakland Athletics. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough. It's great to have you with us as the Red Sox go for their 6th win in their last 7 games. It has indeed been a memorable week here at Fenway Park, in large part because the bats have come to life. The Red Sox really struggled offensively on the season-opening road trip, during which they went 2-4. They averaged just 4 runs per game. They hit .236 as a team, and worse than that, with runners in scoring position. But here on the homestand, as they've gone 4-1, they're averaging 7.3 runs per game. They're hitting almost 100 points higher as a team, and in scoring position, doing even better than that. Joined, as always, by Jerry Remy. So, Jerry, as expected, the bats have come to life. You knew the Red Sox wouldn't hit as they did in that opening series all season long. And now it looks like Ramon Martinez might be starting to come around as well.
Looks like he's heading in the right direction, Sean. When you look at his first outing against Seattle, most of the pitches that he made were up and out of the zone. He didn't last very long in that game. Came back here to Minnesota to pitch against the Twins and struggled in the first inning. But the adjustment he made, at least he was missing low in the zone. He went back in after that first inning and really got upset, started to throw the glove around, and he came back after that and pitched more like Ramon Martinez, was much more aggressive, throwing the ball, hitting his spots. He hopes to keep that up today. Continue on from that Minnesota outing. He's facing a much better lineup here in the Oakland staff. You certainly don't want to walk these guys.
And he'll be opposed today by the veteran right-hander Omar Olivares. We'll have the first pitch from Fenway Park right after this. Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers, by Dunkin' Donuts, by your New England Ford dealers. Visit your New England Ford dealers for the best-selling trucks on the planet. By Best Buy, bringing you the technology to make your time more enjoyable. Best Buy, turn on the fun. By your New England Toyota dealers, where you'll find exceptional value every day. And by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at www.southwest.com. Weekend continues. Cloudy skies today. The lights are on. Pleasant temperature, but we did have rain here overnight. Neither team took batting practice. And the possibility of some sprinkles as the afternoon goes along. The starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The Oakland Athletics are 4-7. They have Rich Becker, the center fielder, leading off. Frank Menachino is the second baseman, batting third, and playing left field, Ben Grieve. Olmedo Saenz is the cleanup hitter and first baseman. He's a career .333 hitter. Against Boston, he homered yesterday against Pedro Martinez. Matt Stairs is the DH. Jeremy Giambi in right field. Miguel Tejada, the shortstop. Eric Chavez, the third baseman, hits 8th. And batting ninth, the catcher, Sal Fasano, against Ramon Martinez.
Record of 1-1 on the season, the 11.37 ERA. The loss coming against Seattle back on April 5th, and the win coming here at Fenway against the Minnesota Twins. And as we talked about in the open, Ramon got things turned around after the first inning in that ball game against Minnesota. 0-1 in his career against Oakland. He faced them as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers back in 1998.
Red Sox trying to go 2 games above the 500 mark for the first time this year. They're 6-5. Ramon's first pitch, a ball, just a little bit up and away to Rich Becker. 70 degrees at game time for the second consecutive day. First pitch at 106. Unlike yesterday, very little breeze in the ballpark as the game begins. 2-0 the count. Ramon kicking at the mound. Might be a little bit damp with the overnight rain. They did have the infield covered. Ramon, when he's had the early struggles, has struggled with his control. And it seems that perhaps he's also struggled to find his comfortable mechanics. He's already at 3-0 with Becker. And there's a strike, says the home plate umpire Mike DeMuro.
One thing he'd like to improve on today, the walk total. He had 4 walks against Seattle and 3 against Minnesota.
Becker might have swung at ball 4 high, and he popped it up and foul ground off third for Wilton Veras. 1 out. Let's give you the rest of the Red Sox defense behind Ramon Martinez today. Troy O'Leary, the left fielder. Carl Everett back in the field in center field, and Trot Nixon in right. Wilton Veras at third. Andy Sheets just giving Nomar a day of rest at shortstop. Jose Offerman at second. Mike Stanley at first. And Jason Varitek is behind the plate. One out, the batter Frank Menachino, the second baseman. Takes a ball just outside. He's hitting .212. He's been up 33 times with 7 hits. 3 of his hits home runs, including one here on Friday night in the first inning against Brian Rose. Ball 2 outside. So Ramon fell behind the first hitter Becker 3-0, and now he's gone to 2 balls and no strikes with Menachino.
It's interesting, Sean. For whatever reason, we've seen a number of pitches struggle in the first inning of ball games.
There's a strike.
Certainly not the case today, but for a number of these games here at Fenway, very cold conditions, but the last 2 days have been more like baseball weather.
Chopped up the middle. Sheets to his left. On to Stanley for the out. 2 down here in the first. Umpires are Mike DeMuro behind the plate with Brian Gorman at first base, Mike Everett at second, and Jerry Crawford at third. Now Ben Grieve. There's the first pitch strike from Ramon to Grieve, hitting .250, 9 for 36. With just 1 extra base hit, a home run. One strike pitch up and in. We understand that we're having some technical difficulties with our transmission, and our technicians are working feverishly to get that situation corrected. 2 balls and 1 strike. Grieve lines one right at the center fielder Everett, and it's a 1-2-3 first inning for Ramon Martinez. After a half inning, the Athletics nothing. The Red Sox coming up. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. After a half inning here at Fenway Park, the Red Sox lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The Red Sox are 6-5 this season. They have Jose Offerman, the second baseman, leading off. Trot Nixon is the right fielder. Batting third, the DH today, Brian Daubach. Mike Stanley is the cleanup hitter and first baseman. Troy O'Leary in left field. Carl Everett, now third in the American League with his .400 batting average, is back in center field today and hitting 6th. Jason Varitek is the catcher. Wilton Veras returns to the starting lineup at third base, and Andy Sheets makes his first start as a member of the Red Sox at shortstop, batting 9th against Omar Olivares.
He, along with Randy Velarde, coming over to this ball club midway through the year and really helped out. He was 7-2 with the Oakland Athletics. You see the record of 1-1. The win coming in his first outing against Detroit and loss against Cleveland. He has never beaten the Red Sox. 0-3 in his career against Boston.
Oakland had a dreadful day in the field yesterday. They committed 4 errors. Ben Grieve, Rich Becker, Jeremy Giambi, the outfield. Eric Chavez, Miguel Tejada, Frank Menachino, and Olmedo Sainz, the infield from third to first, and Sal Pisano behind the plate. First pitch from Olivares, a strike at the knees to Jose Offerman. He stands in, hitting .205, hitting .154 left-handed. He's still the league leader in walks, having walked 13 times. He did not walk yesterday. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Red Sox will see the sinking fastball from Olivares, the slider, the curveball, and the changeup. Generally gets a lot of ground ball outs.
Down the third base line, a fair ball past Eric Chavez and right along the line into the corner, bobbled by Grieve, and Offerman has a double.
Well, the walks were coming for Offerman early in the season. Now the hits are starting to come. That fastball down and away. Good movement on the fastball, but Offerman right down the third base line. You can see that Chavez was playing in tight. He gets by him, and it clears the wall down in left field. That allows Jose to go into second base with the double.
His third of the year. He's now put together a 3-game hitting streak. He's 5 for his last 10. Oakland in tight at the corners, thinking that Nixon might sacrifice, as he did in the first inning yesterday with Pedro Martinez pitching. Fastball at the belt for a strike on Nixon. Trot hitting .306. With 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. 0 for 3 with a couple of walks yesterday. That snapped an 8-game hitting streak. One and one the count now. Another big crowd here. Looks to be another sellout as Kids opening weekend continues. More pregame festivities directed toward the youngsters. Nixon does a great job getting it to the right side. Menachino throws him out. The runners now at third with one out.
Well, he just looks like more of a relaxed player at the start of this season than a year ago, obviously. Confidence in what he's doing. He's had great success to start.